All right. So now we will be talking about, or we will be discussing about the nature, and inquiry of research. Okay, so that is the first lesson, in research in daily life too. Okay, so introduction to research. Okay, so quantitative research. Okay, formerly known as practical research too, or research in daily life too. Okay, session objectives. So in this fraction of the course on practical research 2, senior high school students are expected to attain the following competence. Okay, so na-explain naman sa inyo yan. Okay, so course orientation, na-explain na yan. All right. Now we will be defining research. Okay, according to Baraceros 2016, research is a scientific, experimental, or inductive manner of thinking. Okay, so that is according to Baraceros 2016. According to according to Liddy and Ormrod naman of 2013, research is a systematic process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information in order to increase our understanding of a phenomenon about which we are interested or concerned. Okay, so that is according to Liddy and Ormrod 2013. Okay, so kindly be familiar with those names. Okay, so it may appear in your exams, quizzes, or any activities. Next, practical research aims to discover truths about topics that interest or affects the researchers in order to improve. Now, those are some of the definition, for research. Okay, next, when we say research, according to Creswell 2013, research is a systematic and objective creation of knowledge. Okay, so when we say systematic, meaning it works with a system or method. Okay, so when we say objective naman, it means unbiased. Okay, meaning all angles are presented. Okay, when we say creation of knowledge naman, this is creative process. Okay, so in having a research, firstly, ang unang gagawin is to pose the question, then collect a data to answer to the question and present the answer. Okay, so but it is not that the only steps for you to do when it comes to research. Now, so sabi din, research daw is a process in which you engage in a small set of logical steps, which is this one. Okay, so research is a process of steps used to collect and analyze information to increase our understanding of a topic or issue. Okay, and also when we say research, it is the study of materials, sources, and data, in order to get conclusions. Okay, so that is research. Next, why do research? Bakit nga ba natin ginagawa yung research? Okay, so here are some of the followings. Okay, so why we do research? Okay, so first, sabi, it adds to existing knowledge. No, it improves practice. Okay, it informs policies. No, it solves problems and not emergencies. Okay, sabi daw that humans are intuitive scientists. Okay, parang innate sa mga humans yung pagiging scientist. Okay, we always ask questions. Okay, they are always asking questions. We do test theories about themselves or themselves. Okay, ano pa ba? Not just by themselves, but also by the others, by the events, by also the environment and the world around them. Research also is asking a question and finding out the answer. Okay, so that is a research. Asking a question and then finally finding out the answer. Okay, so it is looking into something. Okay, research can be looking into something. Research can be looking for something. Okay, So research can be comparing and contrasting things. Okay. So also, research can be finding out more information. Okay, so it is research also can be counting things. Kapakarami pa pwedeng maging definition. No, no, it can be making inquiries or questioning. No, it is being curious. No, finding out what people think. Okay, so finding out what people do. Okay, so finding out what people work and finding out what doesn't work. Okay, and also finding out what people want. Okay, so that's how research do. Okay, so research also gives us information, no, about certain aspects, about certain aspects. No, it also gives us information about thoughts and opinions, no, in attitudes, habits, that can be in culture, norms, no, scientific facts, as well as medical information. Okay, and so on and so forth. So in a different areas, as well as in a different fields. No, research are very important or essential, kumbaga. Okay, so we research as well in order for us not to understand society as well as social processes. Okay, as well as to test or create theories, no, at the end. No, or in order for us not to have a better, no, tawag dito, a better living. Okay, in order for us to inform no, about the social action and potentially improve no social conditions. Okay, so those are the things or those are the reasons no, kung bakit kailangan natin din mag-research. Okay, so research plays a vital role no in the community. Next, in comparison to qualitative research naman is quantitative research. Okay? So meron kasi tayong qualitative tsaka quantitative. No, your research one, research in daily life one ninyo, will be about qualitative research. Okay? Now let us define or let us differentiate no the difference between the two. Okay? So qualitative tsaka quantitative research. Okay, sabi, pag sinabi nating quantitative, the green one, okay, so the blue one naman is the qualitative. Single reality, okay, compared to qualitative, which is multiple realities. Okay? Another one, quantitative research, establishing relationships and explaining cause of correlation, while qualitative is understanding situations in a participant's perfect perspective. Dito naman, pre-established design and on the other hand, emerging design. Detach ang researcher pagdating kay quantitative and then immersed naman ang researcher when it comes to qualitative. Lastly is to generalize, okay, is the purpose of quantitative research. Ito naman is to assess applicability, okay, which is the qualitative research, okay? So bakit kailangan detach tsaka immerse? Okay, malalaman niyo yung mamaya kung bakit. No? Kasi detach, meaning dapat kasi hindi bias, no objective type ang quantitative. Okay, so dapat detach ang researcher with that. Hindi natin ginagamitan ng feelings, emotions. Okay, it should be number. Okay, so kaya siya quantitative. Unlike dito, immerse ang researcher. Okay, so it is description kasi it is what we call as categories, no, not numbers. By the way, that is according to Frankel and Wallen, no, 2009. So what research is not, no, according kay Lide and Ormrod 2013 pa din. Okay, sabi nila, research is not merely gathering information. Okay, so meaning research is not just merely collecting information or data, no, it goes beyond mere gathering. Okay, so hindi lang yun pag-gather ng infos. Next, research is not merely rummaging around for hard to locate information. Okay, meaning research is not limited not to just having a thorough investigation and research. No, hindi doon natatapos yon. Next, research is not merely transporting facts no, from one location to another. Okay, so meaning research no, is not just getting factual ideas no, or data no, from one source to another. Okay, so again, it goes beyond those process. Next, Quantitative research. So when we say quantitative research, it uses scientifically collected and statistically analyzed data not to investigate observable phenomena. When we say phenomena or phenomenon, no, it is any existing or observable fact or situation no, that we want to unearth further or understand. That is phenomena. Okay? So quantitative also is based no, on the methods used in natural sciences. Okay? Quantitative research also used to find out how much, how many, how often, and to what extent. Okay? Also, quantitative research aims not to be objective and scientific in its approach. Okay? In addition to that, quantitative research also is a hypothetical deductive no, in its approach not to constructing social theories. Okay? So mamaya malalaman natin sino ba sa qualitative at quantitative yung deductive tsaka inductive. Okay? Quantitative research also aims to assess and measure. Okay? So quantitative research also is regarded no, as a way to get the truth, to understand the world well enough, no, so that we might predict no, and control it no, through identifying cause and effect relationships. Yeah, it is scientific for the fact that it is used a scientific method no, in designing and collecting numerical data. Kaya siya scientific because all of the data here must be numerical. Okay? Kasi nga kailangan definite yung answer. Kailangan hindi biased. Next, since data is analyzed statistically, it is imperative that the data obtained must be numerical and quantifiable, hence its name quantitative research. So nasabi ko naman na kanina, kaya siya tinawag na quantitative research because it must be quantifiable. Okay? So it must have quantity. Okay? So kaya siya imperative. When you say imperative, it's important, no, or essential, or significant. Okay? So that is quantitative research. So now, other comparisons pa kay quantitative versus qualitative no, in different aspects. So comparison, comparison chart rather. Quantitative, qualitative, okay, so according to purpose. What is the purpose? Okay, kindly read na lang, no? The purpose, quantitative, tsaka qualitative. Kindly differentiate for you to have participation. Okay, kindly compare quantitative and qualitative according to purpose. Kindly read, Angel.
The quantitative is the purpose of quantitative is to explain, predict, and or control phenomena through focused collection of numerical data, while qualitative is to explain and gain insight and understanding of phenomena through intensive collection of narrative data.
All right. So that is the difference between the two. Kapag sinabi natin quantitative, okay, it tests hypothesis. Okay, tinetest nila yung hypothesis, meaning there is present no hypothesis na, and then you're going to test that. And the qualitative naman, no, upon having your study, no, you may create or you can create or generate a hypothesis. Okay, no, in the at the end no, of your study. Okay, so quantitative is deductive. Okay, and qualitative is inductive. Okay, so when we say inductive, it is general to specific. Deductive is specific to general. Next is approach to inquiry. So quantitative, qualitative pa din tayo. So sa quantitative, objective siya, focus, and outcome-oriented. Pagdating sa qualitative, it is subjective, holistic, and process-oriented. So objective siya because, no, it is not biased, just like Flip said, which is subjective. Okay? Kasi nga, we need definite measures. Okay? Kasi in a quantitative research nga, researchers tends not to remain objectively separated not from the subject matter. So this is because quantitative research is objective in approach, no, in the sense that it only seeks precise measurements, no, and analysis of target concepts not to answer his or her inquiry. Okay? So kailangan kasi natin ng precise measurements dito, no, numbers. So kaya siya objective. Okay? So meron siyang outcome-oriented also. Ito naman subjective siya. That's gaya ng sabi ko kasi nga no, it talks about categories, talks about description. Okay? So holistic siya. Okay, general siya. Ito ay process-oriented. Next, quantitative, qualitative and hypothesis. Okay, when it comes to hypothesis, ang hypothesis ng quantitative, pag sinabing hypothesis, it is educational guess. Okay, so educational guess siya. So quantitative, it can be specific, testable, no, stated prior to particular study. Ang hypothesis naman ng qualitative is tentative, evolving, based on particular study. Okay, so meaning ang hypothesis is broad. Okay, so when it comes to quali, okay, broad. And then pagdating naman sa quantitative, it is too narrow. Okay, on too narrow or narrow down. So when it comes to testing hypothesis naman, or when it comes to quantitative rather, no, hypothesis should be test. No, sabi ko nga kanina, when it comes to qualitative naman, hypothesis should generate or should be created. Okay? So sa quantitative again, no theory are being used. Okay? In a qualitative theory are being created or being generated. Next, research setting. Usually, no, it takes place in artificial laboratory, no, like conditions that may not reflect no real life situations. The qualitative naman usually takes place in a natural or real life setting. Okay, bakit natural and real life setting yung qualitative research? Okay, because let's say for example, you are having when it comes to categories and descriptions, yung mga documentaries. Okay, so having a documentaries, no, syempre you must have or you must went no to the settings no, of those persons. Let's say for example, you are going to study no the way of life of the Maranaos. No, of course you are going to the place no, of the Maranaos. No, you are going to stay for that no for a month or even for a couple of months no for you to study the livings as well as culture of the Maranaos. Okay, so that's why natural and real life setting sila. Okay, kasi ang ino-observe doon is the cultures, the traditions, no, those are qualitative one. Okay, so descriptions and categories. So unlike a quantitative one, okay, so pwede mo nga itong gawin lang na nandito ka lang, mag-aabot ka ng mga surveys dyan, okay, because we do have definite answer which is numbers. Okay, out of that numbers, we will have our results, and out of the results na yun, magkakaroon ka ng conclusion and then recommendation at the end. Next, quantitative versus qualitative. Okay? So sa sampling, ano pinagkaiba nila? Sa quantitative, no, random ang sampling niya, which intent to select large, no, representative sample in order to generalize results to population. Qualitative naman is purposive, na meron tayong ibang topic ng sampling, ha? So meron tayong separate yan kasi maraming sampling methods. So hindi lang random tsaka purposive. Qualitative naman usually is purposive. Now, the intention is to select small, okay, not necessarily representative, na sample in order to get in-depth understanding. So when we say probability sampling, okay, and non-probability sampling, no, uhulog yung sampling with that two. Probability tsaka non-probability sampling. So pag sinabing probability sampling, okay, it involves random selection which allow you to make statistical inferences about the whole group. Okay, meaning walang bias kasi randomly selected sila. Okay, meaning that is probability sampling. Kapag non-probability sampling, it involves non-random selection. Okay, this is only based on convenience or other criteria. Okay, which allow you to easily collect data. Okay, so that is non-probability is non-random. Kapag probability sampling is randomly selected. Okay, so ganun siya. Okay, may measurement of that. When it comes to measurement, Okay, so quantitative is standardized, numerical. So ganun yan, sabi ko naman na yan kanina. Measurements, numbers at the end. Kapag qualitative is non-standardized, narrative siya, written in words. Okay, so descriptions, categories. Okay, so quantitative, qualitative design and method. So when it comes to quantitative, no, it is structured and flexible, specified in detail, no, in advance of study intervention. Ito yung kanyang mga types or kinds ng quantitative. Descriptive, correlational, causal comparative, and experimental. Okay? Pagdating kay qualitative naman is history, kay mga kinds niya, biography, ethnography, phenomenology, grounded theory, at case study. Okay? Those are the types of qualitative. No? Pero kasi tayong four main types ng quantitative naman. Ito nga yun. No? Four main types of quantitative are descriptive, correlational, causal comparative, quasi or tinatawag din na quasi experimental, no, yung causal comparative. Okay? And then experimental research. Okay? So it attempts to establish cause and effect relationships na among the variables. So quantitative and qualitative pa din according to data collection strategies. Pag quantitative, when it comes to data collection, okay, so we can have observations. We can have interviews. Okay, we can have administration of tests as well as questionnaires or surveys. Okay po, pwede yun. When it comes to qualitative naman, okay, it can be document and artifact, that is collection. Okay, so kasi observe mo lang yung interviews po pwede rin naman dito. Administration of questionnaires po pwede pa rin. Okay, so in that particular field, okay, sa field mismo na iyong pinagkakandakan. Pagdating sa mga data, meron tayong tinatawag na primary data source or primary data at saka secondary data. Okay? So yung mga yon, when we say primary data, these are first hand. Okay, original. Okay, so hindi pa natatampered, hindi pa na-edit. When it comes to secondary data or secondary sources, no, these are edited na, pwede ng second hand na rather, no, ng mga data. Next, quantitative qualitative. So kindly read quantitative qualitative according to data analysis. So would you mind to open your mic, Kirby?
Quantitative. Raw data are numbers performed at the end of study. Involve statistics using numbers to come to conclusion. Then sa qualitative, raw data are in words, essentially ongoing, involves using the observation or comments to come to a conclusion.
Okay, so yun din sabi ko kanina, no? Pag data analysis, again, ang raw data niya numbers. Okay? Qualitative raw data are words. Okay, so that's it. Yun lang ang pinagkakaibahalas ng quanti at qual. When it comes to data interpretation naman, i-interpret na yung data. Pagdating kay quantitative, conclusions and generalizations formulated at the end of the study. Okay? Dito naman, conclusions are tentative. It can be changed. Okay? Pagdating sa qualitative. Next, comparison pa rin type of data. Okay, ganun pa rin when we say type of data, quantitative, gathers data that can be coded in numerical form. Okay, ganun pa rin coded numerical form. Dito naman, gather data that is free-form or non-numerical. No, such as diaries, open-ended questionnaires, okay, interviews, okay, so on and so forth. Next, applications used to study trends across large groups in a precise way. Okay, pag application ng quantitative pang malakihan, no, pang malaki. Okay, pang census, ganyan, clinical trials, okay, maraming respondents. When it comes to qualitative po, pwede siya sa kakaunting individual lang. Okay, so kakaunting respondents lang. Once na mag-Zoom meeting ka, join lang. Quantitative research, yan, numerical data that are generally easier to collect than descriptions or phrases used in qualitative research. Okay, so balik tayo doon. Ito yung mga some examples ng quantitative research topic. Okay, so these are just few examples of research data which was expressed in numbers. Okay, so yun yung mga sample topic: students' grades, number of hours, percentage of consumers, average daily COVID-19 patient. No, quantitative kasi it's quantifiable. Next, quantitative research again. So some data na quantitative research are not directly counted and thus require conversion from non-numerical information into non-numerical information. Alright? And then, wait lang. Kaya ano example na hindi directly nakakount, no, yung ganitong klase ng topic. Ito yung topic na yun. Determining which brand of canned sardines is the best choice for consumers in terms of taste. Okay? So yeah, in terms of taste, it cannot be expressed in numbers, no, unless we do a survey using a rating scale. No, paano mo malalaman yung which brand, no, of canned sardine is the best choice for consumers in terms of taste, di ba? Kung gagawin mo siya quantitative, paano? Di ba nga numbers kailangan. With that, gumagamit tayo ng rating scale. Okay? So usually they come in a selection of numbers with a corresponding meaning for each choice. Now, for example, 1 is taste very good. Okay, so nirepresent yung number 1, taste very good. Number 2, satisfactory. Number 3 is undesirable. Okay, so ang tinatawag dito is 3-point Likert scale. Okay, Likert scale ang tawag sa ganito. Okay, so kapag 5 naman siya, 5-point Likert scale. Okay, so usually ang ginagamit natin is 5-point Likert scale. Okay, so meaning 1 to 5 yung numbers, and each numbers has categories or rate. Okay, kagaya nito. So numerical choices convert text into numbers so the researcher can perform mathematical operations for faster, more accurate, and more objective analysis. No, kailangan kasi natin ng numbers na data sa quantitative. So kung meron ka mga ganyang klase ng mga data, no, you can put it into numbers using Likert scale, na para ma-solve natin using formulas. Okay, and then you can use other statistical treatment. Yan, no, Likert scale ang tawag dyan, no, used to quantify data. So characteristics of quantitative research. So ito na yung mga characteristics ng quantitative research. So large yung sample size, objective, just like what I've said. Okay, bakit large yung sample size? Kasi mas marami ang kailangan, ang kailangang participants, no, as well as respondents. Objective naman siya. Okay, so data gathering and analysis of results are done accurately. Okay, kasi numbers siya, we have definite answer, so objective siya and not biased. Next, visual result presentation. Okay, so data is numerical. Now, which makes presentation, no, through graphs. Pwede mo siyang gawing graphs, charts, tables, okay, etc. So characteristics pa rin, faster data analysis, fast data collection, okay? So generalized data, reliable data, and replication. Mas mabilis yung ang pagkuha ng pag-analyze ng data kasi numbers. Okay, kailangan lang natin ng formula, kailangan lang mag-solve, then makakuha na tayo ng analysis of that. Next, generalized ang data. No, data taken from a sample can be applied to the population. Okay? Kasi hindi mo naman buong population ang pagkakandakan mo ng survey. Let's say, for example, you have a population of 1,000. Okay? 1,000 yung population mo, okay, na students. Okay? So out of that 1,000, hindi naman yung buong 1,000 eh. Kukuha ka lang doon ng sample or sample size. Okay? Pero may computation pa din yan. No? Okay? So malalaman yun sa ibang parte ng lesson. Kaya ang kukunin nyo is yung sample, not the population. Pero once na yung sample, nakuha nyo na, and you have a result na on your study, you can now generalize no, the outcome or the result from that sample to the population. Okay, so ganun siya kaya siya in general. Okay? Next, fast data collection. Okay, kung mabilis i-analyze, mabilis din tayo mag-collecta ng data kasi nga it is on numbers. Reliable din yung data kasi nga objective siya. Okay, it cannot be biased. Next is replication. Okay, so it can be replicated. Okay, meaning it can be reconducted. Okay, so yung ganitong klase ng study. Strengths, okay? Okay, these are the strengths naman. Okay, parang ganoon na rin yung kanina, no? Mga kinds and kinds of, tawag dito, mga characteristics, no? So ito na mga strengths. Okay, so ganoon pa rin yan, fast and easy. By the way, the presentation was already sent not to your Gmail account, ha? So andun lang yan. So weaknesses naman are as follows. Okay, so wait. And these are the weaknesses. Okay, it lacks necessary data to explore a problem or concept in depth. Okay, so kasi mas malawak yung qualitative. It does not provide comprehensive explanation of human experience kasi nga by lang siya, by numbers. Itong qualitative naman kasi ay talaga nakakahalubilo mo, no, human experiences. Okay? So ayan, large sample size make data collection more costly, totoo yun. Mas marami kang sample, mas marami kang respondents, participants, mas magastos, na printing pa lang magastos na. Okay? So unlike qualitative. Okay, so those are some of the weaknesses and strengths no, ng quantitative research. Okay, and that will end the slides. Okay, now you have your activity about no, the presentation. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that is just 1 to 15 items. Letter A at B lang. Basahin mabuti ang instruction. Okay, so basahin mabuti ang instruction doon sa Genyo. A at B lang ang sasagot nyo doon. Ha? Okay, okay, A at B lang. No, pakitandaan. Okay, so wala na pong password yun. Kindly go to your Genyo account lang. Look for RDL2. Okay, RDL2 lesson 1. Okay, naandun nyo sa lesson package. Okay, so RDL2 lesson 1. Okay, so I will be setting the activity. Then kapag nag-end ang Zoom, kahit wag na mag-join, basta gawin na yung activity. Okay, so with the remaining time of yours. No, kindly work on your activity. No need to rejoin. Okay, set ko lang.